as you point out, they had so much evidence. All the top lieutenants were testifying against Sam. But then Sam decided to take the stand and tell his version of the story. Real unusual decision for a criminal defendant, because then the prosecutor gets to cross-examine you about anything you've ever said. And this prosecutor had no mercy. I felt like she was going for bonus points. I felt like she wanted to convict Sam. She's like, forget the witnesses. I'm going to convict you again right now.
Oh, boy.
And so she was like, Sam, have you ever said anything about the relationship between Alameda Research, your hedge fund, and your exchange, FTX? Have you ever said maybe that Alameda Research didn't play by the rules on FTX? And Sam was like, I don't recall. And then the prosecutor, Danielle Sassoon, was like, Your Honor, let me introduce. And then she pulled out a hard copy of Number Go Up.
Nice.
Walked it over to the witness stand. The defense was like, objection. They had a little conference. It was admitted. And then honestly, for quite some time, she had Sam read different pages of the book and was like, do you remember saying that now? And he had to just say, I don't recall. Because what's described in the book is this interview I had with him in November 2022, just before he got arrested. And he basically did not quite have his story straight. And he said a lot of stuff to me that I think he regretted. So he couldn't really admit to saying those things now. And I think it looked terrible for him in the trial in front of the jury, because when his lawyer was asking him questions, he had a lot to say. But when the prosecutor brought up his other statements, he just had to stick with, I don't recall.
That's rough. So part of me feels sorry for the guy because, I've done things wrong, and I know that feeling of regret.
Yep.
But the size of the fraud and the crimes, I would say alleged, but now I guess I can say committed, right? Since he's been proven guilty, is just massive. What do you expect, Zeke, at the sentencing? I was having a little debate over at the news desk a little bit earlier, and some of the people on the desk were like, well, Elizabeth Holmes only got 11 years, so maybe he gets 15. And then somebody else said, yeah, but Bernie Madoff got like 150 years. So, where do you think Sam Bankman-Fried falls in the pantheon of giant con men?
So, I think these sentences are determined by how much money you stole. And maybe he'll be able to try his arguments again, which is that so he took this customer money and he went and gambled it. And he wanted to say in his defense that some of those bets worked out. And the judge at his trial said, that doesn't matter. You stole this money. If you stole the money, we don't care what you did with it after. The crime is just the stealing the money. But maybe when it comes to sentencing, he'll be able to say, hey, there's not actually $8 billion missing. We've been able to find that a bankruptcy court has been able to find, $4 billion, just sentence me on the $4 billion. But even still, $4 billion is a lot. So he's looking at a bad sentence. I'd say maybe like 20 years. That's just my guess, though.
Wow. Hey, Zeke, I guess folks within the crypto space, I guess they're wondering at this point, to what extent does the whole Sam Bankman-Fried scam, the FTX debacle, how much does that negatively impact just the crypto space in general? Do you have any thoughts on that?
So I'm hearing a lot of wishful thinking from the crypto people that this does not impact them. It doesn't reflect on their project. And I think it doesn't matter if your project had nothing to do with Sam Bankman-Fried. If you start some new coin now and you go pitch it to regular people, they're going to say, oh, crypto. Isn't that how the guy with the curly hair stole everybody's money?
That's bad.
And they're not going to want to invest, So I think it is, all the publicity around this trial is horrible for crypto. And the crypto people would love to move on. But coming up next, we've got Alex Mashinsky of Celsius, who's also another crypto guy accused of a massive fraud. And if it wasn't for Sam Bankman-Fried, this one was really big too. He'd be like the big crypto villain. So maybe the bad publicity is they're not out of the woods yet.